Hey guys, I am joined by Zach Makovsky. How are you doing today?
Pretty well. Just finished up some training, so
Oh,
relaxing.
perfect, perfect. I actually I just had Brittany Elkins actually on the show talking about the fight. I seen that you trained with her.
hmm
How is her training going towards the Clarissa Shields fight from what you see?
Yeah, I think she's doing amazing. I'm really impressed with how she's picked up kind of the approach that I thought would be best, and she's working really hard. I think everything's going great. I think her chances are very good.
Yeah, at least she is an MMA fighter fighting a boxer. So I'm rooting for her big time. So I think she gets the upset. So.
Hoping the same. That's what we're working for. That's what we're working for.
Absolutely. So I really wanted to jump into your last two fights. They were super close. I can't even pronounce the guy's name. I did see them both, but is there a trilogy in the works for this fight? I know they were both split decisions both ways.
I hope so. Veli Murad Alkazov. Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
I thought the first one was close, and I thought the second one was not as close, but didn't get the
And
second. Strange.
so, are you still signed to Brave? Like, is that a contract where you're signed under them for a couple more fights?
Yeah, I have 3 or 4 more fights with them, so I'll probably be with them till I'm done, till I hang it up, which probably won't be too much longer. But yeah,
So what differently in the third fight would you have to do to make sure that you get a decision? Because the first two were so close. Well, the second one to you wasn't close, but it just didn't go your way. What do you have to do differently?
uh, I don't know. Not fight in Bahrain. No, no. I don't know. I mean, he is managed by the promotion, so I feel like that is. I mean, at least the appearance of a conflict of interest.
Yeah,
So I wish that wasn't the case. I honestly feel like I fought really well that second fight. I feel like it was one of my better performances. I certainly took my foot off the gas in the third because I was
yeah,
very confident I won the first two. Controlled everything in the first, dropped him in the second, visibly hurt him a different time in the second. I thought it was clear. If anything, I usually have like a negative perception of how the fight's playing out. It's like I think it's closer than it is, or I see myself as not doing as well as I usually am doing. And I was
yeah,
very confident I won the first two. So I did, you know, I had an assumption that okay, he needs a finish.
for
Uh,
sure.
Came out aggressive in the third, so it kind of just fed into the way I was reading the situation. My corner confirmed it. I mean, when I watch it back, the commentators all said I was up 2-0. The ref came up to me after the fight and was like, "Bro, I was getting ready to raise your hand when they were announcing the decision." So I don't
Conflict of interest, like you said, right?
feel. I guess I shouldn't take my foot off the gas in the third. Not. I don't know. It's hard to say because I do think I read the situation right. I just think the judges were wrong. I don't know. I guess keep going after him in the third more. I guess would be my only adjustment.
Well, let's get down to that. Do you think that a big conflict right now is open judge scoring? Do you think that would be good for MMA or no?
Um, it certainly would have helped me. I think in this fight, I'm not sure how I feel about it overall because people think it would like make it more exciting in the last round if people knew. Oh wait, if I knew I'm not up 2-0, the winner of this round is going to win the fight. It would make it more interesting. But the opposite could be true too. If someone does find out they're up 2-0, then they can be like, "Oh, I can just survive this round, not make it too one-sided of a round." So I feel like it can work both ways. It also
Yeah,
it also would kind of take the drama out of the. Well, I guess it depends how they would do it, but potentially
yeah,
take the drama out of the final decision. It was like you
for
kind of
sure.
already know the outcome. So that moment where they're announcing the scores and you raise the hand and there's that like anticipation that would kind of potentially go away also.
For
So I don't
sure.
know. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it to be honest.
For sure. Now, getting down to this is probably like you said, the final chapter of your career at 39. You have three fights you said left.
38.
Uh,
38. Don't give me extra years.
I'm so sorry about that. So let's say all the fights went your way in the next, and they offered you another chance in the UFC. Would you take it, or would that be something you'd have to really reconsider?
I mean, I guess it depends on where I'm at, how I'm feeling and everything. I feel like I'll keep fighting if I'm performing well and I'm feeling good,
Yeah,
then I feel like there's no reason to not do it. Like there certainly is a limited time you have to compete, so I would have trouble saying no if I was feeling good and everything was going well. I think, but I certainly am aware that clock is ticking and I'm starting to transition a bit more towards teaching and coaching.
for sure.
I'm not done fighting yet, but I'm starting to spend more time teaching and coaching than just training myself. So I don't.
The good thing about your career, though, is I found that you didn't take as much damage. Like you've never even been stopped through knockouts in your fight. That's probably the benefit of fighting to a later age too. That you can get away with it more because you're still physically young, uh, from not taking that damage. So that's definitely a feather in your cap.
Yeah. Certainly my style, although it's fairly athletic, I haven't taken a lot of damage in fights that could potentially be career shortening. So I mean, it was one of my it's just kind of how I gravitated towards. Uh,
Sure.
I never thought I should be in like brawls or slugfests.
Yeah,
I feel like if you fight that way, if you're like trying to exchange with people, you should. That's it's much more of a coin flip situation. You should do that when you think you're the less skilled person. I
for
generally
sure.
feel if I'm more skilled, I should, you know, win the engagement and exit and not exchange. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm always trying to do. I don't really understand why you would want to do coin flips if you think you're the more skilled guy. If you're not the more skilled guy, it makes sense. I do those coin flips. If you think you can win in a variety of ways, it doesn't really make sense to do that. So I don't.
It's not always smart to be Diego Sanchez.
Yeah, I would say rarely. Rarely is that the right answer.
Did you see he dropped that coach of his, Fabia?
I didn't see that.
I don't know if you know about him and his coach or not.
I mean, I know they're crazy.
Yeah. No, he finally got rid of him, I think, last night. So it was on the news. So it's pretty cool, actually, just mentioning Diego. So,
I'll have to look into it.
yeah, pretty weird. That was a pretty weird situation.
Yeah,
Um,
certainly.
the last fight was at flyweight, if I'm correct. Do you, over time, has it gotten harder to cut to flyweight? And do you prefer bantamweight now?
No. The bantamweights are way too big for me. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, flyweight's not a bad cut. Honestly, when I was fighting at bantamweight earlier in my career, it's because flyweight wasn't an option. Um,
true.
there, there was no flyweight in Bellator, and I was in Bellator in 2010. And
Yeah,
I don't think the UFC added it till 2012, so it really wasn't even an option.
for
Uh,
sure.
so as soon as it became like a viable option where we could reach the highest levels, I knew that was my spot, and it's not a hard cut, even at my uh, older age. So
Well, did you even have to cut any weight to make it to bantamweight?
very little. I mean, like I wouldn't have to pay attention to my diet at all, and just you know cut water basically the day of weigh-ins, and that was it. So
Still great that you got a chance to win the Bellator World Champion, the very first Bellator champion, if I'm correct. There,
yep,
how does that? How is that? Do you still have the belt?
I still have the belt. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's good. Congrats on that. That's still amazing to this day. Um, and so the flyweight division, how do you see, like, over the years it's changed so much? Like Demetrius Johnson was really controlling the whole division. How do you look at it now? Do you still see it as more exciting that he is gone, I guess, per se? I don't know how to word it. It was really I guess not hated on. It was just kind of, he was so dominant in that division. How do you see it now?
Yeah, I mean, so maybe we have different definitions of exciting. Demetrius was one of my favorite fighters to watch of all time. Still is.
Oh, I love Demetrius. It's just a lot of people seem to
So
hate on the
yeah,
division
yeah,
because he was
I
so
get it.
dominant.
I get it. But like, so I would argue that like that means they don't really they're not fans of the martial arts. They're just fans of violence.
For
And
sure.
you know, he was a very smart, tactical guy who had a lot of different approaches, and was just amazing in a variety of areas. Had like one of the best tie clinches I've seen in MMA.
Oh,
Used
for
it
sure.
amazingly. Pace was out of control. So he was like, I still think he's in my top three of all time.
For
Um,
sure.
So I love watching him fight whenever I can. Now, certainly when he left, uh, it became more competitive and newer faces and things. To be honest, I blame the UFC for marketing him and the like not creating a narrative around the challenger. It was just like, okay, the number 8 guy is going to challenge him next. No one's seen him. He's only been on the undercard in the prelims, and now you're giving him a title shot without like I felt like in every other division,
Mhm.
as you get close to number 1 contender status, you're like headlining a fight night
For
on,
sure.
and you're getting 5 round experience, which is also going to help you be a more viable challenger to someone, especially someone so dominant as Demetrius. So I just felt like they kind of mishandled that situation. But flyweight's certainly a fun division. I think with or without DJ in there, and certainly right now Figueiredo is a very exciting guy. Uh, his first fight with Moreno was amazing. I'm sure the next one will be great. Cejudo was interesting. I don't know.
Now,
I've always liked the division. I don't think it like went up and down since Demetrius went. I've been a fan the whole time. So
for sure. And like I honestly thought that Demetrius got to that point where he was a little tired. Like I actually scored him for the fight against Cejudo the second time. I thought he
yeah,
won that fight.
yeah,
So
I did
did you
too.
score the same? Yeah. Yeah, most people did. And it's just like it's kind of one of those things where he was kind of tired, I guess, of being champion, do you think?
I don't. No, I don't think so. I mean, Cejudo was a different challenge, and he fought fairly smart. I feel like Demetrius one area where you could potentially beat him is if you get him down, keep him down, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what Cejudo did in those fights. Now, I don't think it was that is valuable enough to win him all those rounds, but
For
he certainly took Demetrius out of his own game for a little bit. Not that he himself did anything especially effective either, but no, I think DJ is a professional, and I'm sure he was training just as hard and probably just as motivated for his legacy and everything as everyone else. I don't know. I mean, I guess you'd have to ask.
yeah. I know it's crazy that he got knocked out too, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Before I let you go, is there anything you want to shout out before I let you go to the fans watching?
I think if you guys, I'm still fighting with Brave Combat Federation, which is a good show. I think they get underrated viewership given I think
Yeah.
the quality of fights they put on. So the fight I just lost was the semifinals of a flyweight tournament. So that guy that I do, Vili Murat, I hope I get a trilogy with him. I hope he goes on to win the whole thing, and then I can be
Yeah.
like, I'm 2-0 against the champ. I should get the. I'll take a fight in the meantime, and then if I win that, give me the title shot. I think if he comes out on top, I would have deserved that. I think. So I think if you guys like MMA, Brave Combat Federation has a lot of quality fights. I also recently started running the MMA program here at Finishers MMA, 10th Planet, Bethlehem, which is my hometown. So
Yeah.
I'll be spending more time here teaching and then traveling probably up to TriStar again to do training camps and stuff. Yeah, but I think that's it.
Well, if I'm ever in the area, I'll have to stop in.
Please do. Please do.
I really appreciate your time today, and I can't wait for hopefully the trilogy because that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, same here.